It's basketball time from Algona High School as the Iowa Falls-Alden Cadets and the Algona Bulldogs get set to tip it off. Tyler Lance with you here on Hometown Radio. The outstanding freshman for the Cadets, Ella Shire, is at mid-court, getting ready to tip it off for the Cadets. She's up against Efrington, and Algona wins the tip, and we are underway here from Algona High School. Bulldogs going from right to left on your radio dial. Hilbert for the basketball, fires it over to Solbach. Quick ball movement around the perimeter for Algona. Ball gets briefly poked away back to Hilbert. 7:43 on the clock, and we're underway. Perry gets it just inside the corner of the three-point line, back to Solbach. Bulldogs keeping the ball moving here early. Algona on the second night of a back-to-back. They dropped a game to Pocahontas area last night. Now Hilbert fires up a three, left wing, and she drains it. Great start to the night by Maddie Hilbert. And that was the big issue that Coach McLaughlin pointed to last night. He thought the team had great looks, especially from the three-point line, but they just couldn't connect on them. So a tremendous start for Algona. Cadets come back the other way. Shire, right of the lane, takes a bump, and a foul will be called against Algona.
Personal foul called on Torres.
Ella Shire is having an unbelievable freshman season. 14.5 points per game, 6.9 rebounds for this Iowa Falls-Alden team. Three ball on the way. That is missed by the senior Jenny Wilpholm, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll go back to Algona. Starting lineup for the Cadets is the freshman Shire, also Wilpholm, the senior Marley Lancaster, a sophomore Haley Bridgewater, and the junior Kaylin Reimer. For Algona, they're mixing things up a bit. Senior Alexa Chase, sophomore Lillian Efrington, sophomore Alayla Perry, junior Maddie Hilbert, and then sophomore Tora Solbach in the starting lineup. Algona back for the basketball. Pass goes out of bounds, but it was knocked out of bounds by a cadet along the baseline, and the Bulldogs will keep possession. Algona got off to a good start in last night's game, went up 14-7 at the end of the first quarter, but they got blanked entirely in the second quarter. Not a single point in quarter number 2 last night. And that was a big reason why they couldn't come away with the win, as Solbach dribbling along the right wing, sends it back near side to Hilbert. Hilbert dribbling with the left hand, 6:41 on the clock, 3-0 Algona. Solbach passed a good look for three, and Perry fires up a short corner jumper, airballs it though, and Cadets get the basketball. Lancaster across the timeline. Cadets wearing their black jerseys, red trim up top and gold around the edge of the numbers and the name Cadets. The ball handed off to Lancaster. Lancaster gives it up to Bridgewater. Dribbles right around the perimeter, picks up the dribble, bounce pass on the baseline, tried to find Shire. It squirts out of bounds though off the hands of Shire and goes back to Algona. Good defensive start by the Bulldogs. Last matchup between these two teams came earlier this season. The Cadets won 40-32, but a very competitive game over in Iowa Falls. Near corner, basketball for Algona, right wing to Solbach. She'll fire up a three, she'll miss it. Well off target there, it'll go out of bounds and back to the Cadets. Algona 1 for 2 early on the threes here, but in that game it was tied at halftime, and it was a 1-point game. A Cadet lead going to the fourth quarter before things kind of went off the rails a little bit for Algona. Cadet basketball, 5:47 on the clock. Pass around the perimeter, handoff to Lancaster. Lancaster dribbles left, sends it to Reimer. She'll fire up a three, and she swishes it. First three ball of the night. That one goes to the junior Caitlin Reimer. She's a 30% three-point shooter on the year, and this Cadet team has some players who can shoot. Right side Solbach, now to Perry. Perry on the block. Perry double teamed. Had it poked out of her hands by Reimer, but got it back. Now to Solbach. Solbach threw a dangerous pass to Hilbert, who pulled it down. Now near corner. Jumper on the way for three. Efrington off target. And offensive board, Perry puts it up. No. Puts it up again. This time she gets fouled. Tremendous effort by Alayla Perry to stay with it on the offensive end and get the rebound. And Alayla Perry will head to the foul line. Ella Shire gets called for the foul.
Shooting 2.
This Cadet team, and we'll talk about it throughout the night as Perry misses short on the first free throw. They are a good three-point shooting team. Every single player in their starting lineup shoots threes. There's no one who you entirely avoid that with on the Cadet team as Perry swishes the second foul shot. 4-3 Algona, and 3 out of the 4 players in the starting lineup are above 30% for the Cadets. So they all have the ability to pool from long range. Left wing, Reimer for the basketball, gives it up to Lancaster, now to the near corner to Lancaster. Lancaster dribbles across the lane, gets it back out top of the key, Reimer. Reimer gives it up, left wing, free ball, too long by Wilhelm. Off target, loose ball on the floor. Hilbert's down in there. And did a jump ball get called? It sure did. Almost thought for a second that Algona might try to take a timeout to get the possession, but good job by the Cadets to force the jump ball. And they'll get it from the near side of the baseline. 4:44 on the clock. They lob a high inbounds pass, dribbling towards the right. Wilhelm gives up the basketball to Lancaster. Around the perimeter, Shire. Shire attacks down the center of the lane, goes right into the body of Perry, puts it up off target to the left, though, missing off the backboard. Another loose ball on the floor, and another jump ball. That time it was Etherington getting in there and mixing it up. Quick early substitution here for Iowa Falls-Alden. Bring the sophomore into the game. Iowa Falls-Alden really only plays 7 players. Their 5 starters play tremendous minutes, and they only have 2 players coming off the bench. And now a whistle into travel here called against Algona. 4-3, early lead here by the Bulldogs, looking for win number 3 on the season. It's been really an offensive power outage for the Bulldogs, as in 4 of their last 5 games, they have scored under 30 points. And the only one that they eclipsed the 30-point mark, they got a win. As a turnover here by the Cadets, coming across the timeline, Algona. Near side, Solbach on the left wing, dribbles around the perimeter, gives it to the foul line to Chase. Back to Solbach, now near corner. Hilbert will fire up a good look from 3, left it a bit short though. Rebound is loose on the floor, peel that, and a foul is going to be called. Etherington got her hands in there, but the ball was controlled by the Cadets.
Personal foul called on
That'll be
Lillian
the first
Etherington
foul for the sophomore
for first
Etherington.
Second team foul.
Last time these 2 teams matched up, Etherington was the game's leading scorer for either side, as she had 15 points. Algona will make a substitution. Izzy Henry, who had 9 points last night, Algona's leading scorer. She'll come into the game to replace Solbach. Algona looks to drop into his own defense here. Now it's stolen. Coming up the court, the Bulldogs. Open look to the basket. Layup is up, and layup is good. Great anticipation by Alexa Chase that time. Jumped right into the passing lane and stole it away. 6-3 Algona. Shire dribbles around the screen, looks for space for 3, hoists it up, no good. Left it short off the front iron. Hilbert rebounds. Gives it off to Etherington, comes across the near side, sends it back to the right side to Hilbert. Hilbert to Perry in the short corner, now back out to Hilbert. 3:21 on the clock in quarter 1. Near side, Henry fires it back across the court. Algona doing some great ball movement here. Perry drives on the baseline, dishes to the corner. Another passer on the perimeter, Etherington. Now right wing Hilbert. 3:07 on the clock and ticking. Boy, Algona's taking the pass, touching it, and getting rid of it within a second as a 3 ball's up, and it rattles home from Etherington. Another early 3 by Algona. 9-3 Bulldog lead here at home. The 3-pointers falling much better than they have in many of their games recently so far. Algona 2 for 5 early in this one, and they've gotten some good looks from range. Inside, off the glass, no good. And rebound Algona. And a jump ball they'll call. Boy, that was good hustle there by Reimer. I thought for sure Algona had control of that rebound, but she was able to force the jump ball, and now the Cadets will have possession. Baseline near side from underneath their own basket. Wilhelm lobs it into Lancaster. Lancaster back into the corner to Wilhelm. Tries to fire it down onto the block. Pass gets tipped in the air, and Perry takes it away. They were trying to find Shire. Shire is 6 feet tall, but extremely athletic, and Perry did a nice job to tip the pass away. Solbach bounce pass into the corner. Around the perimeter, Hilbert. Now onto the left elbow, back out beyond the 3-point line. Solbach. Couple quick passes around the perimeter again. They try to fire it back to the foul line to Chase. Near corner. Now back left to wing Hilbert. She tries to fire a pass, and it gets picked off by Bridgewater. Bridgewater up the court, has a 3-lay into the basket and puts it in.
Bridgewater.
Well, the quick passing game's been good for Algona so far, but that pass was just well anticipated by the sophomore Haley Bridgewater. Chase at the foul line. Chase tries to force it inside to Perry, and that ill-advised pass taken away. Another run out up the court. No good for Shire off the glass. Offensive board blocked. Bridgewater couldn't get it. Another offensive board, and this time a foul. Boy, those second chance opportunities just killed Algona on that possession.
Personal foul called on Izzy Henry.
Look at Izzy Henry on that foul.
3rd team foul.
And a couple dribbles here First foul shot on the way. It is up, and it is good for the senior who's averaging 12.9 points. Wilhelm is also averaging over 8 rebounds a game as well. Foul shot on the way. Foul shot swished. A productive trip to the free throw line that time. And it's a 9-7 Algona lead, as Iowa Falls-Alden has now scored 4 consecutive points here. And the Bulldogs try to answer back. Solbach fakes, has an open look for 3, and she missed it. Boy, she got the defender running away, but an offensive board that time. Ball goes back to Solbach, drives, and gets fouled. Boy, that was a quick, almost out-of-control drive that time, but they'll call it on the floor. She was a little bit out of control going into the lane, but the defense almost didn't know how to react as she ended up getting hacked on the play.
Second team foul.
So an inbounds play from the baseline coming for Algona. 9-7 lead. Lobbing it in, Henry. Henry gets it into Effrington, dribbles to her right, now comes back near side Solbach. Foul line chase, right side again, Effrington. Effrington drives, Effrington hoists up a floater, and she got fouled on the play. She missed it long, but she'll head to the free throw line. I'll tell you what, I like what I'm seeing so far from this Algona offense. Again, the quick passing game has been very good here tonight. The players aren't really playing any isolation basketball by any means, and the ball's not really sticking in the hands of any one particular player, as the first foul shot is up and good from Effrington. She has 4. And they're attacking. They're taking good looks from 3, and when they're not doing that, they're attacking the basket as the next foul shot went halfway home and swirled out. Rebound to the Cadets. 1:06 in the first quarter, 10-7 Algona. Near side, open look from 3, Wilhelm. Misses it short, tipped in the air, taken by Chase. Chase tries to run out, and she traveled. Chase traveled as she was really excited to get into that transition opportunity, but that'll be another early turnover here for Algona. Algona had a really long layoff prior to last night's game. Due to weather postponements, they had not played since January 9th. And now a whistle and a foul here on the floor, as they'll get a blocking foul against Chase.
Personal foul.
But they lost that January 9th game 45-26 against Garner Hayfield Ventura, then did not play again until last night because there were multiple weather postponements. And again, other teams in the conference dealt with that too, but that could be a reason why it was such a poor shooting night, as a long 3 balls airballed, but the offensive board from Bridgewater fights it up and she gets hacked hard. Boy, Shire got a little juiced up on that 3-pointer from the near corner, as she overshot that basket by a good couple feet, but it landed right into the lap of Bridgewater. Perry committed the foul, and now Bridgewater, the 47% free throw shooter, bounces the first foul shot home. This is a good starting lineup for Iowa Falls-Alden, but it is a very high workload starting lineup, and we'll see how effective that is as the season goes on. Bridgewater makes the second foul shot, 1-point Algona lead, 48 seconds to go in the quarter. Again, as we get through the month of February towards the postseason, that is a lot of minutes to be playing when you only really have a 7-man rotation. Now another travel from Algona. I think they're going to get Chase again. Some visible frustration as she tosses her hands into the air briefly. And Chase will stay in the game, rather. Effrington will head to the bench. Henry back in for Algona. 39 seconds. We'll see how quickly the Cadets want to attack here. Lancaster gets the basketball. Down onto the block. Wilhelm puts it up. No good. Perry comes away with the loose ball. 28 seconds. Solbach off and running. Solbach attacks 2 defenders. Spins into the lane. Rolls it in. Oh, what a move by Solbach. She was heading to her left, spun to the inside, and somehow made an absolutely athletic shot there from the paint. 12-9 Algona lead. And now a pass almost thrown away at that time, but it's saved by the Cadets. Shire gets the basketball, 5 seconds. Shire dribbles around the perimeter, picks it up, fires it, knocked away by Perry on the block, and the buzzer sounds at the end of the first quarter. Alayla Perry did a nice defensive play there to deny a post opportunity as we go to quarter number 2 here on Hometown Radio. Algona 12, Cadets 9. An exciting first quarter of action as the Algona Bulldogs with a 12-9 lead over the Iowa Falls-Alden Cadets here on Hometown Radio. Iowa Falls-Alden right now 10-4 on the season, and they're trying to prove that you can turn it around in one season. The Cadets went 3-19 last year, and they're already 10-4 this season. So if you're an Algona fan, maybe you kind of look at Iowa Falls and say, hey, that's what we can try to do next season. But right now, Algona trying to spoil the party. 3-ball from the near corner, and it's up, and it's good. Nothing but net once again, as that time it's Izzy Henry connecting on her first triple of the game. 15-9 Algona. Now attacking, getting blocked is Lancaster. Perry comes away with the basketball, and Solbach brings it across the timeline. Algona have some energy early on in this game. Solbach to the foul line. A couple passes around the perimeter. Same spot. Henry misses long. Solbach offensive board, and she gets tackled. That'll be a foul in every sport except for football, as Reimer laid on top of the back of Solbach that time.
Called on Kaylin Reimer, her first.
That'll be the first foul for Reimer. And Algona will inbound it from the baseline. Etherington looking, lobbing it into play. Carroll with the basketball, gives the ball up, couple quick passes, goes to Solbach, steps inside the three-point line, sends it to the right wing. Algona with some early ball movement once again. Out to Solbach, 7:08 on the clock. Sends it back to the far side of the court. Now Perry in the short corner attacks the baseline, kicks it to the corner, tipped in the air, but Henry comes down with it. Now Solbach attacks the glass and fights it in. Well, she powered that off the glass, and if she'd thrown that any harder, that might have bounced off the rim and been no good, but she was able to will it home, and Algona, just like that, a 17-9 lead. Bulldogs scored the last 5 points here. Cadet basketball. Lancaster gives it up to Shire. Shire attacks into the body of Perry. Perry stood her ground. No foul call as that shot only got net, but the bottom of the net as it was offensive rebounded again, and now a foul is committed by Algona. Wilbholm got the basketball and again attacked the rim, and this time a blocking foul will be called against Algona. And I don't know how much film Algona's been studying, but every time Shire's attacked the basket, Perry has gotten into the middle of the paint and stood her ground, not moving pretty much an inch. Wilbholm makes the first foul shot. She has 3 points on foul shots. Perry will check out of the game, get a fist bump from some of the coaches as they appreciate the good defensive effort on that possession. Wilbholm makes the second foul shot. She has been reliable so far tonight. 4 points, all on free throws. A 30-second timeout called by Iowa Falls-Alden, and it's a 17-11 ball game. The Cadets this season, they've been a team of streaks. They won their first 6 games to begin the year, including that 40-32 win over Algona. But then they hit the skids. They lost 4 out of their next 5, but now they've won 3 in a row. So if you're an Algona fan, you're kind of wondering right now, are the Cadets continuing a winning streak here tonight? Because they're already in the midst of a pretty good winning streak. Or can Algona send them into another losing spiral like they had earlier this season? And not only were the Cadets streaky earlier this season, with that long winning streak to begin the year, then that bad stretch of basketball losing 4 out of 5, and now the 3 wins in a row, but if you look at their year-by-year records, they've also been streaky. 3-19 last year, but the year before they went 19-3, so they're probably the definition of a team of streaks, and we're seeing that play out so far this season. Etherington tries to kick the ball out. Pass intercepted by Lancaster on the near side. She pauses, takes it into the front court as Etherington blows by her, sends it far side Shire. Shire attacks, blows right through the middle of the lane, lays it up, and good.
Shire for 2.
First points of the night for Ella Shire, and boy, she was just too fast for any of the defenders on that play. She cut right across the center of the paint, right across 2 defenders' faces, and now Solbach travels on the other end as she was trying to facilitate the offense. That's what makes Shire so dangerous. Another 30-second timeout, this one called by Coach Noel McLaughlin and Algona. Shire's speed. A lot of times when you have players that have good size, they're not as athletic or they don't have speed, but Shire does have athleticism and she does have speed, and it is showing this season. And not only that, she's well-rounded. She's the best free throw shooter on the Cadets, and she's confident. She can pull from 3, because if you try to play off of her and not let her blow by you and attack the basket, she'll pull from 3 all day long. She attempts the most threes of anyone in the conference at 8.7 per game, and that is well above second. Second place for reference is Bay Arnold of Humboldt. She's at 7.4 threes per game, so Ella Shire by far takes the most three-pointers in the conference. So you're pretty much hosed as a defender. If you play up on her really tightly, she'll blow by you and try to go to the basket. If you back off, she'll pull up for three. And that's what makes this freshman such a dangerous threat and one of the key players of the future of this cadet team. On the baseline, Wilhelm kicks it into the corner. Three ball high arcing, short. It's missed by Bridgewater. Rebound Algona. Cadets haven't taken too many threes tonight. They're only 1 of 3 from range so far. 5:30 on the clock. Solbach looking inside, dribbling with her left hand, scoops it underhand for a three-ball attempt. Missed off to the right by Henry, and a rebound and a run out here for the Cadets. Now a left wing three on the way, missed again. This one by Lancaster, follow-up no good. Ball loose, it's knocked out beyond the three-point line to Wilhelm, and a travel's going to be called. So after all that to try to save the possession, they end up turning it over anyways, and we've seen quite a few travels here so far tonight on both sides of the basketball. Cadets right now rank 4th in the conference out of the 9 teams. Algona 5th, but there's a pretty decent gap in between them as the Cadets are 5 and 3 in the conference, whereas Algona's 2 and 4. But those top 4 teams right now have kind of separated themselves from the pack. Still a 4-point Algona lead into the near corner. Ava Henry, and it'll be a turnover here. Boy, didn't see a whole lot of that one, but might have carried. So Algona starting to have some turnover problems here in quarter number 2. Cadet basketball, Shire. Shire goes to her left. She'll pull up for a very contested three-pointer, missing it far off to the left, but the long bouncing rebound goes right into the hands of a Cadet, and off the glass and good from Reimer. Boy, Reimer was standing all the way back at the left elbow when that ball just bounced right into her lap after the three-point attempt, and she was able to take it to the basket and score, and now a bad pass goes out of bounds. Well, I think Efferington was expecting Henry that time to cut towards the half-court line, but Henry cut the other way towards the baseline, and that pass found no one in particular besides the scoring table. Wilhelm to Bridgewater. Pulls up for a contested three just right at the top of the key, and she'll miss it. Cadets have been off target on the threes tonight, but they get another chance. Firing up a three-pointer, but that one won't count. A travel on the play by Bridgewater before she could shoot it. Cadets have been such a good three-point shooting team this season, but they're only 1 of 6 so far here tonight. And their greatest weapon in Shire only has 2 points. Algona has the 2-point lead. Efferington dribbles around the screen from Solbach. Solbach gets it, drives left of the lane, fights up a layup off the glass, no good. Good defense that time by the Cadets, and they'll run in transition. Up to Wilhelm. Wilhelm attacks the glass. Off target, no good. Rebound Chase. Gives it off to Efferington. She'll take it across the timeline. 17-15 Algona. Out to Solbach. Attacks down the center of the lane. Floater is up, and floater is good. Oh, the left-handed floater from the sophomore Tora Solbach is good. And Solbach, who's averaging just over 6.3 points per game this season, already has 6 here tonight. Bridgewater to the foul line, looking for someone to give it up to, gets to Wilhelm. She'll go left of the lane, picks up her dribble, kicks it out for a 3-ball on the way. Off target, though. Missing that shot was Lancaster, and a loose ball foul goes against the Cadets. Boy, some quick action now. Both teams are trying to run in transition here in the second quarter.
15 foul.
Algona with 16 fouls. Cadets with 5 team fouls so far. 3:20 on the clock. Slowly going across the timeline, Efferington gives it up to Chase. Her feet just inside the 3-point line, sends it to Henry, far side of the court. Henry looking for the screen, dribbles around it, attacks the basket, and a blocking foul gets called. That was right on the edge of offensive foul versus blocking foul, but they'll get Bridgewater on the block, and a great play by Henry to attack. Ava Henry heads to the foul line, where she's just over a 57% shooter on the season. It is up, and it is in. 20-15 now in favor of Algona. And second foul shot, no good. Rebounded by Shire. Shire's a good rebounder as well. Shire stops at the 3-point line, pulls up, and just missed that one a little bit long. The 3-point misses are starting to pile up for the Cadets. Now to Hilbert on the left wing, gives the basketball up to Efferington. Effrington takes a couple dribbles and sends it to Solbach up top. Her heels at the edge of the Bulldog logo. 2:44 and ticking. 5-point Algona lead. Effrington looking for space. Effrington kicks it out beyond the 3-point line. Picking up her dribble, Hilbert, now far side Henry. Tried to throw it on the block to Chase, but that pass got knocked away and out of bounds by Shire. And she stepped out of bounds as she was trying to save it into one of her teammates. So Algona basketball still, 2:34 on the clock. Into Solbach in the corner. Solbach dribbles out of the corner, now gets it back to Effrington in the corner. She'll fire a three, left it short though. Almost wedged there in between the rim and the glass. Now outlet up the court to Shire. Shire lays it up and lays it in. No one paid attention to Shire. She snuck up the near side of the court, had a great opportunity and got that layup in transition. A 20-17 ball game now. Algona still in the lead. Chase, 1 foot on the 3-point line, gives it to Solbach, and a foul is whistled. I believe that one happened away from the play. We'll see who they get that one on. They'll get it on Lancaster.
Called for her second
And
personal foul.
now it'll be 1-1 here for Algona. Kaylee Carroll, the sophomore, comes into the game. She'll replace the sophomore Ava Henry for Algona. Allison Off, another sophomore. She comes into the game for the Cadets. She is one of the 2 players who plays regular minutes off the bench. As the first of the 1-1 is up and good for Effrington. 5 points for the sophomore. She's been one of the best free throw shooters on the team. And the second one rattles out. Chase tried to tip it and keep it alive, but it went into the hands of a Cadet. They'll run in transition. A kick to the corner. Free ball on the way. Off target, front of the rim, no good. Offensive board again. Putting it up with the fadeaway. And rattling it in is Wilhelm. Wilhelm did a nice job because if she had attacked the basket that time, there's a good chance that shot would have been blocked. But going for the fadeaway gave her a great opportunity to make the shot. And now Effrington drove on the baseline and fired a pass over the head of Solbach out of bounds on the near side. 21-19 Algona lead, 1:42 to go in the half. And the Cadets have a chance here to go into the locker room with the lead after all that time Algona has spent winning this game so far. Algona has never trailed. Into the near corner, Bridgewater. Bridgewater steps inside the 3-point line, back into the corner. Around the perimeter of the basketball goes, now top of the key. Driving right of the lane, Wilhelm. Wilhelm stops, guarded by Solbach on the block. Kicks it out for a 3 ball, and no good. That one hit right off the side of the iron and goes out of bounds as Bridgewater misses on another 3. Cadets 1 of 10 on 3-pointers now so far in this ball game. Alayla Perry back into the game after an extensive rest on the bench for Algona. We'll see if she plays the final 1:10 of this half. Effrington across the timeline to Chase. Chase dumps it down onto the block to Solbach, kicks to the corner to Hilbert. Oh, she fumbled with the ball. She had an open look from 3, but she couldn't cleanly collect the pass that was just slightly off target to her right. And now Solbach comes back to the logo to reset the offense. Left wing, Effrington looking, goes to Perry. Perry tries to attack on the baseline, gets doubled by a couple defenders, kicks it out. Now a runner, and it's no good. Effrington missed on the floater, 42 seconds to go. Back the other way, Bridgewater kicks it out, Shire. Shire attacks on the center of the lane, scoots past Perry and scores. Perry tried to get Shire to cause a charge there, but Shire adjusted slightly to her left that time, went right around Perry, and then there was nothing but open space on the basket in front of her. A wonderful play there by the freshman, and we're all tied at 21. Solbach runs into Perry as she tried to set a screen. 18 seconds to go in the half. Now back up top. Coach McLaughlin instructing his team to hold it. He wants the last shot. Effrington dribbles right. Effrington almost ran into Solbach that time. 7 seconds. Effrington looking for space on the right wing. Fought about 3. Far corner, 3 seconds. Solbach, a floater, is blocked, and that's the half. What an interesting half that was. 21-21 ties. These two teams fought back and forth, neck and neck, and there was no let up by either of these two teams. A very intense first half. Algona had that 12-9 lead at the end of the first quarter. At one point they went up 17-9, but answering back was the Cadets, and that's where we are right now. Ella Shire of 6 points for the visiting Cadets. Wilhelm also with 6. Tora Solbach with 6 for Algona, and Lillian Effrington with 5 points in this one. We'll get to more coverage of this game coming up next after a quick break right here on Hometown Radio. halftime here from Algona High School. Tyler Lance with you on Hometown Radio as the Algona Bulldogs holding their own against the double-digit winning Iowa Falls-Alden Cadets. It is 21-all at the end of the first half, and this game looks eerily similar to the first time these two teams met. What a competitive game that was. Their last matchup on December 11th earlier this season. Guess what? Game was tied at halftime, much like it is tonight. In that game, Iowa Falls-Alden ended up winning by 8. Algona hoping to reverse it here on their home court tonight. A look at some of the key first half stats. 3-point shooting is something that was a big focus in this game, as Coach Noel McLaughlin talked in the pregame. His team took a ton of 3 balls last night in the loss to Pocahontas area. Final score in that game, 43-29. And in that game, Algona just really struggled to make open looks. Tonight, they've been decent from the 3-point line. 3 of 10 so far. They've been aggressive and taken a lot of open looks, but they went a little cold after a good start early on in the game in that category. But on the flip side of things, Algona has done a good job defending the 3-point line, as the Cadets are 1 of 10 from downtown here tonight. And the Cadets have been very willing to take highly contested pull-up type looks. Shire's taken a couple pull-up threes, and several other members on the team have taken threes where there have been a lot of traffic here tonight. And if you're Algona, you'll take that. Obviously, the Cadets love to shoot three-pointers. That's a very efficient play in modern basketball if you can get good looks. But a lot of the three-pointers just haven't been great looks for this Cadet team so far, and Algona is going to try to keep exploiting that and force them to attack the basket. And when they do attack the basket, especially if the freshman Shire, Algona is having their great sophomore Alayla Perry go right into the paint, try to build a wall in front of Shire, and draw the offensive fouls. Now, to Shire's credit, she's done a good job of avoiding the offensive fouls so far here tonight, but Perry has done just enough to disrupt some of her shots in the paint and not let Shire go off and really have a field day here tonight. But on the other end of things, one of the things Algona did well in the first quarter was not turn the basketball over, and that totally flipped in quarter number 2, as many of their possessions ended in turnovers. That led to transition opportunities for the Cadets, and really this game would not be tied right now. Algona would be in the lead if it weren't for the great transition basketball being played by the Cadets here tonight. They've found Shire on a couple of runouts in transition for easy layups, and when you have a turnover and your players can get down the court quickly on offense before the defense is ready to adjust, that's what's going to happen. You'll have those easy buckets, and that is a big reason why the Cadets were able to come back and tie the game at 21 at halftime. Leading scorers are pretty balanced here tonight, as when you look at the Algona side of things, Tora Solbach with 6 points, Lillian Efferington with 5, and the scoring pretty much equally dispersed besides that. On the Cadet side of things, Ella Shire has 6 points, Jenna Wilpolm has 6 as well, and Haley Bridgewater has 4, Kaylin Reimer has 5. And it's been pretty much what we've expected. The Cadets, like we said, they really only play 7 players regular minutes. When it's not a blowout or it's not the game out of hand, it's their 5 starters playing a ton of minutes and 2 players coming off the bench. All of the Cadet points tonight have been from their starting lineup, and if you look at Algona, it's not really a ton different, as 17 out of their 21 points have come from their starters here tonight. Algona's a team that only has 10 players on their roster, so they're not a team that is going to be looking to their depth as a strength, but it's one of those situations where these are 2 teams that kind of rely heavily on their starting lineups, and we'll see which team ends up getting gassed a little more and which team has a little more left in the tank here in half number 2 as we go forward. And one of the big keys to the second half is going to be who starts heating up from the 3-point line. Like you mentioned, Algona got off to a good start in the game. They cooled off in the second quarter. The Cadets really haven't been able to hit threes all game long. So if one of the teams can get hot from 3, they'll be able to really take control of the game. And secondly, who's able to go on a nice run in this one? You know, no team has really been able to go on more than a 4 or 5 point run in a row and really blow it open. But if one of these teams can string together 8 or 9 consecutive points, that could be an insurmountable deficit, especially in a game where a lot of good defense is being played, not a lot of 3-pointers are being made, and every possession is valuable, especially in a tie like this. So that's really something to watch going forward here in the second half as we advance. With that, we'll go ahead and take another quick timeout, get you back with the second half of basketball action. It'll be coming your way next, right here on Hometown Radio. away from the painted area and try to open things up a little bit. So maybe Coach McLaughlin thought that wasn't a great matchup and wanted to have her on the bench and test out a new lineup for a little bit, but Algona did have the upper hand in that first quarter when Perry was playing most of the minutes that she's played so far here tonight. And Perry did check in for the last minute and 10 plus of the first half, and that was how we got to this point, tied 21-21. So we'll see how much Perry plays in the second half, or we'll see if Coach McLaughlin goes for a little bit of a smaller lineup to match up with the three-point shooters of the Cadets. But 21-all, an interesting second half is about to get underway as no one has really broken through and had a huge scoring night so far. All leading scorers in this game have 6 points or fewer. It should be a very fascinating second half. Who's going to start making three-pointers? Who's going to cut down on the turnovers? And who's going to win this close, highly contested North Central Conference game? It will be Cadet basketball to start off the second half. They will have their normal starting five on the court. Algona will bring their starting five from this game back out. And we're about ready to get back underway. Lancaster to trigger from the far side of the court. She gets it inbounds to Bridgewater, who gives it back to Lancaster, and we're back underway. Algona in that 2-3 zone into the far corner. Bridgewater picked up by Solbach, and she immediately throws it away. Etherington picked the pocket on the pass. Etherington up the court, near corner. Hilbert back to Etherington on the right side. Feeds Perry, center of the lane. Perry, turnaround, and missed it off to the left. We stay tied at 21, but right idea there. Try to get Perry in a one-on-one matchup close to the rim. Lancaster gives the ball up to Wilhelm. Wilhelm has the pass stolen, and this time it's Hilbert who takes it away. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers forced by Algona. Up the court, Etherington fights it up the glass, rolls off no good, but she got fouled on the play, and Lillian Etherington will head to the foul line. Boy, an aggressive start by this Algona team to start off the second half, really going into those passing lanes and intercepting the 2 balls there. Etherington will attempt 2 foul shots and rattles the first one home. 3 of Etherington's 6 points tonight have come from the charity stripe. Boy, this sophomore has been such a key part of the team, and she could be a key cog to the future for Algona as she makes the second foul shot as well. If she can continue to improve her 3-point range in the shooting, she will have a really well-rounded game as Algona tried some backcourt pressure there, up the court, and a jumper is blocked by Perry on the baseline. Getting it back, though, are the Cadets. They'll get it back out beyond the 3-point line and reset. A 3-pointer from Wilhelm. She'll miss that one. Rebound, Solbach, and Algona up 23-21. Solbach across the logo, heads to her left, scoops it underhand, heading into the lane. Etherington bounces it out, Hilbert. Hilbert heading near side, now corner to Etherington. Etherington feeds Perry on the block. Pass got knocked away by Shire, though, and taken by Reimer. Up the court, Bridgewater. Bridgewater into the lane, scoops it up and scoops it in. Haley Bridgewater cut right across the lane. Seemed like she scooped the ball almost from behind her body and ties the game at 23. 6:32 on the clock. Solbach heads to the left. Now passes it back to the right to Chase. Chase to the near side, Etherington. Etherington squirts past the defender. Can't get the shot to go from the baseline, though. She went right around Shire, but almost too open that time as she left it short. Now a good look from 3, off target. That one missed by Reimer. Rebound Algona. And already to start the second half, Algona not giving up second chance possessions. Now Perry behind the defense, a great find. Can't get the turnaround layup to go, though. Ball peeled loose. Wilhelm off and running on the far side of the court. Wilhelm attacks Solbach. It's blocked, but a foul is called against Solbach as her mouth falls open. Her chin was almost on the baseline there as she could not believe the call. But it will be a foul, and Wilhelm will head to the line. Wilhelm this season, 57.4% from the charity stripe. And the first foul shot is up, and it is good. Wilhelm second on the team in points per game at 12.9 this season. Second foul shot on the way. She swishes that one. And the first lead of the game for the Cadets. 25-23, 8 points for Wilhelm. Solbach holding the ball left of the logo, picks up her dribble, sends it to the left wing. Etherington attacks across the foul line, kicks it out to Hilbert. 3 from straight on, she swishes it.
Hilbert for 3.
Hilbert with her second 3 ball of the night, and Algona goes right back on top. 26-25. 5:31 on the clock. And the pass is knocked out of bounds by Hilbert. They tried to feed Bridgewater in the corner, but again, Algona having some active hands right now to start the second half, really disrupting the passing lanes for the Cadets. Wilhelm to Bridgewater on the near side, to the corner to Shire. Pump fakes, drives, goes right past Perry, bounces the layup home. Shire went right around 2 defenders that time, almost like a little obstacle course, but still found her way to the basket and gives the Cadets a 1-point lead. Hilbert sends it to Solbach. Solbach working her way across the foul line, near side Efferton, drives on the baseline, gets cut off, tried to feed a cutting Perry, pass got tipped though, it goes around the perimeter for a left wing 3, and it's swished! Hilbert is on fire to start this second half. 29-27 Algona. Now Hilbert the leading scorer in this game with 9 points. Algona in the zone look on defense. Bridgewater kicks it out for a 3 ball, and it's swished. First 3 ball of the second half. And that one belongs to Wilhelm, who is now having a very good night with 11 points. And a lead change once again, it's 30-29. Hilbert to Chase. Chase goes back to the near side. Etherington now Chase inside the 3-point line, takes a couple steps back into the corner, almost threw it away for Solbach. Solbach takes a couple dribbles and sends to Etherington as Algona slows the pace down. And attacking is Solbach. She'll get fouled. That was a nice deliberate possession on offense that ended with a quick attack to the basket from Tora Solbach. And the 63.5% free throw shooter heads to the line. And her headband tore, so she'll run it over to the sideline before she heads back to the foul line here. Well, already 3 lead changes here in the second half. We'll see if Solbach makes both these foul shots and gives us lead change number 4. First free throw, a line drive, too far though and off target. Kaylee Carroll coming into the game. She will replace Alexa Chase. And Solbach will try to salvage a split of the pair, looking for point number 7 on the night. And she swishes it. We are tied at 30. Algona with a couple 3-ball makes here to start off the second half. Cadets up the court. Wilhelm kicks it out. Left wing 3 is wide open, but it's missed by Bridgewater. She's had a tough night from range. And now out of bounds, and the possession will go back to Algona. 3:56 on the clock. We are all knotted up here at 30 in quarter number 3. The 2-win Algona Bulldogs trying to upset the 10-win Cadets. Bulldog basketball. To the near side, Etherington tried to fire it to Perry down on the paint. She saved it from going out of bounds, but she tiptoes on the baseline, and one of her toes touched out of bounds. Perry was trying a balancing act like an Olympic gymnast there, but she was unable to keep her foot off of the line. There's a turnover for Algona, something they've mostly avoided here in the second half, but unable to avoid that time. Bridgewater to Wilhelm. Algona staying in that zone defense. Wilhelm across the foul line, gives the basketball up. Now it goes into the near corner. Bridgewater drives baseline, gets cut off by Carroll, works her way into the lane, kicks it out top of the key, right in the lane, Wilhelm, and she double dribbled on the play. Boy, it is really the Cadets in this second half who have been plagued by turnovers. The possessions they have gotten shots off, they've gotten some very good looks off. It's just that they've had very few possessions where they've actually been able to get a shot because they've turned it over so many times here in the second half. 3:17 on the clock. Solbach, the ball on her right hip, just outside the logo, starts dribbling to her right, gives it to Perry on the elbow, now kicks it out Etherington. Etherington around the screen from Perry, back to the elbow. Bounce to Perry on the give and go, and Perry gets fouled. Perry did a tremendous job of rolling to the basket after that screen. They will call it on the floor. They'll get Reimer on the foul, her 3rd foul. Etherington from the baseline. Lobs in the middle of the lane to Perry. A little push jumper off the backboard is good. Alayla Perry gives the Bulldogs the lead, 32-30. She hasn't done a lot in the scoring category tonight, but she's making her impact felt here in the 3rd quarter. 2-point Algona lead. Shire, pestered by 2 defenders, tries to squirt past them, and she double dribbled. How about that? You can start to feel momentum slightly shift in the direction of Algona. The turnovers piling up for the Cadets. Algona trying to get a 2-possession lead now. 2:45 on the clock. Solbach comes to get the basketball, steps across half court, Dribbles with her left hand now, lobs a high pass to Etherington on the left wing. Etherington attacks the basket, bounce pass Perry in the lane, floating jumper, no good. Rebound, Reimer. Perry left that one just short off the front of the rim. Reimer across the timeline, gives it to Shire right wing. She'll fire on a long three, no good off target. Long bouncing rebound though, Wilbholm gets the basketball. Wilbholm across the foul line, dishes it underhand. 2:17 on the clock. Now to the baseline to Shire, backs it out beyond the three-point line. A tough defensive assignment as attacking the basket, counted in the foul. Wow, what an attack there from Ella Shire. As the defensive matchup was with Izzy Henry, Perry came in to try to help. She ended up being the one called for the foul, and Shire has a chance to finish a three-point play and give another lead change to this already dramatic game. A couple bounces. Shire, the 66% free throw shooter, swishes that one. Couldn't have placed that one any more perfectly, and that's lead change number 5 of the quarter and 5 of the ball game. 33-32 is the Cadet lead. Algona spent all of the first half either leading or tied, and most of it leading besides the last couple of minutes. And now they find themselves down 1. Etherington baseline, kicks it out. It goes in between everyone, and it goes out of bounds along the far side of the court. Izzy Henry maybe had a chance to go get that basketball, but I think she hesitated because she thought that pass might have been tipped by a Cadet player, but it was borderline, and I believe it was the right call to give the ball back to the Cadets here. Near corner, 3-ball on the way, front iron no good. Follow-up rebound is pushed in. Wilbholm reached over the top of the Bulldogs and gives a 3-point lead to the Cadets. 1:31 on the clock. Solbach pulls for 3, misses, and now the Cadets have some momentum going. The ball rolls up the far side of the court. It's picked up. Pass to the near side, Bridgewater. The defense comes quickly to pick her up. Bridgewater has the ball above her head, bounces it to the near corner. Across the lane, bounce pass back up beyond the 3-point line. Now they feed Bridgewater going on the baseline. Kicks out again. 1:09 on the clock. Big possession here for the Cadets. Shire thought about cutting to the basket, but she hesitated, and now Perry takes the pass. Oh, the anticipation there was for Shire to continue to the basket, but her hesitation threw her teammate off. Now a 3 from the top of the key for Henry. Back iron, no good. Rebound, Cadets coming up the court. Bridgewater, center of the lane. Wild layup, high off the glass, and she got it. She almost got too deep to shoot that one, but threw the most high-arcing layup you'll ever see, and it just kissed off the glass and went in. 5-point lead, largest lead of the game. 3-ball bounces, can't go as it hit the rim a couple times. Missed by Algona, and now a pile-up on the floor, and they're going to give the basketball to the Cadets here. Wow, what a sequence that was. Carroll comes into the game. She replaces Perry for the Bulldogs. 30 seconds left to go in quarter number 3. The largest lead for the Cadets so far, and a critical defensive possession as the Bulldogs try to stay in striking range in this ball game. To the right wing to Wilbholm. Wilbholm blows past the defender, puts it off the glass too hard. Loose ball foul, goes against the Cadets. They're going to get Shire on this one as she puts her hands on her head in disbelief. Second foul for Shire. Hilbert and Perry back into the game. Carroll checks out, and so does Henry. 15 seconds. We'll see if Algona wants to hold for the last shot here. That seems very likely. Now 14 seconds. Slowly dribbling into the front court. Etherington. Etherington has a great look off the screen from Perry for 3. Left it short, though. They tried to tip it, but great rebound by Wilbholm. 2 seconds. 1 second, and there will be no shot before the end of the third quarter as time expires. A good third quarter for the Iowa Falls-Alden Cadets. They take a 37-32 lead. A tight finish coming up in quarter number 4 next here on Hometown Radio. 5-point game here as we start quarter number 4. The Cadets leading the Bulldogs. It'll be Bulldog possession to start the 4th, and we'll see how they attack the Cadet defense here. Algona has avoided the big offensive fluctuations they saw last night, where they scored 14 points in the first quarter and 0 in the second quarter. Algona's scoring by quarter tonight, 12, 9, and 11, but it was a 16-11 edge for the Cadets in that last quarter. Perry gets the basketball, starts to attack down the lane, kicks it out. Hilbert has an open look from 3, bounces high off the rim, bounces again, and it hits the extension above the backboard. That is out of bounds. So the possession will go back to the Cadets. Another critical possession. And we'll see if Algona runs a certain offensive set that I thought looked really good in the third quarter. And it's a set where either Hilbert or Effrington brings it into the front court. As coming up in transition is Shire. Shire attacks on the center of the lane. Oh, Chase partially blocked that one, and it's a turnover back to Algona. But Perry sets a screen at the right elbow, and that opens up a wide open 3 for either Effrington or Hilbert. And they've had some good looks at that shot. They just haven't been able to convert it. We'll see if they try to attack like that again in transition at any point in the 4th. Now Solbach drives, scoop, layup, and score. Tora Solbach, a clutch basket. It's back down to a one-possession game. 37-34 Cadet lead. 9 points for the sophomore Solbach. Lancaster has played almost the entire game. Dribbles to her right, corner of Bridgewater, attacks the baseline. Help defense from Chase, and she blocks the shot. She erased it right to Perry. Up the court come the Bulldogs. 6:55 to go. One-possession game. Effrington out to Solbach, top of the key. Solbach tried to pass it to a cutting Chase, and now it's stolen. Wilhelm up the court, right to the basket, lays it up and lays it in. That was outstanding defensive anticipation by Wilhelm. She held her ground, she took the pass away, and coming the other way, Solbach feeds to Perry on the block, puts it up and puts it in, and the foul. Alayla Perry with a chance for a 3-point play, and she's keeping Algona within striking distance. 3-point game again, could be a 2-point game if she makes this foul shot. The sophomore spins the ball backwards, takes one bounce. Her foul shot up, misses off to the left. Rebound Wilhelm. Wilhelm got bumped on that one. Outlet pass at the court, Bridgewater sneaks past Perry, scoop layup on the score. Oh, Algona fell asleep that time. They were slow getting back after that foul shot, and Bridgewater took full advantage. 5-point Cadet lead. Hilbert looking to her left now, back to her right. Chase, top of the key. Now to the left wing, Effrington. Across the foul line, right wing, Solbach. Solbach dribbles to her left, across the foul line, heads left of the lane. Underhanded pass to Effrington, brings it out beyond the 3-point line. Now attacks center of the lane, floater partially blocked. Shire comes up with the basketball. Up the far side of the court, Shire pulls up for a right wing 3, wide open, swish!
Shire for 3.
She's been attempting that pull-up 3 from the right side all night long. She's been missing it all night long, but she didn't miss that one. Largest lead of the game now for the Cadets. 44-36, they're up by 8. A crucial possession for Algona. Solbach, 5:30 on the clock. Pass to the near side to the corner to Chase, tried to feed it to Perry. Oh, and it's stolen by Shire. Another clutch defensive play is quickly coming up the court, Wilhelm. Wilhelm attacks center of the lane, scoop layup, rolls off the rim, but a foul's called on the play. And just like that, the Cadets are slowly starting to squeeze the life out of this ball game and take control. They'll get Alexa Chase on the foul, and that was inches away from being a 3-point play. Wilhelm bounces the first one off the front of the rim, and it goes in. She now has 16 points on the night. And a full timeout will be called, so we'll go ahead and take a timeout and get you back for the rest of the 4th quarter coming up next. 5:20 to go in quarter number 4, 45-36. Iowa Falls-Alden lead as they're starting to go on a run here. The Cadets have not made many three-pointers tonight. They're only 3 of 15 from range, but they've made them count. And one of the biggest buckets was a Shire pull-up 3 in transition. As the second foul shot missed, Perry scrambles for a long rebound. It's touched by a Cadet, goes out of bounds, goes back to Algona. But that put the Cadets up by 8 points. They are now up by 9, and that deficit feels very large for an Algona team that has struggled on offense throughout this season. Algona 5 of 17 from three-point land here tonight. They're going to need some. Hilbert to the block to Perry. Perry with a contested tough shot that she tried to force over her head, and that misses everything. Rebound to the Cadets. Wilbholm up the court. Wilbholm across the lane attacking. Now a couple quick passes along the perimeter for the Cadets. 4:52 and ticking on the clock. Shire gets the ball on the right wing, gives it up top to Lancaster. Now back to Shire. She'll fire a deep 3. She'll miss it, but a long rebound kicks out to the Cadets, and they get another possession. A bounce pass to Reimer. Reimer loses it, and it goes back to Algona. Back into the game, Bridgewater. 4:36. Every possession now counts for Algona. Not that it didn't before, but the possessions will start to become very limited here down the stretch in quarter number 4. Shire with 14 points, Wilbholm with 16 for the visiting Cadets. Solbach to Effrington. Effrington looking, heads to the left around the screen from Perry. Now to Hilbert around the perimeter to Solbach. Corner 3, she hits it! Oh, did Algona need that one to breathe some life into this game. Another timeout is called. 45-39. We'll be back in 1 minute right here on Hometown Radio. Cadets 45, Bulldogs 39 here in quarter number 4. Tora Solbach just hit a huge three-pointer to make it a 2-possession and a 6-point game. And for Algona, they've improved on last night. In 4 out of their last 5 games, including last night, they scored 30 points or less. Coach McLaughlin talked in the pregame about how he thought his team was doing a good job getting open looks. They just simply weren't making the shots. Well, tonight those shots are going in, which is great. They're up to 39 points. But this is a good offensive team that they're facing in the Cadets. The Cadets have the 6-point lead, and it's a tense fourth quarter as Algona has managed to stick around. One of their better offensive games in over a month. Really the only game that compares was their 48-32 win over St. Edmund earlier in January. Some full court pressure, they get it up to Bridgewater. Bridgewater against Perry. A second defender comes over, a bounce pass to the baseline to Wilbholm. Wilbholm tries to dribble out of the corner, throws a high pass to Shire up top. Shire attacks right of the lane, now fires it right off the side of the rim. Rebound Perry. A little bump as the ball is brought into the front court by Effrington. Goes down the center of the lane, kicks it out to Chase. Around the perimeter, gives it to Solbach. Fought about pulling for 3, attacks on the foul line, tried a floater, partially blocked. I think that was Wilbholm who got a hand on that one. 3:39 and ticking, 6-point game. Bridgewater, aggressive defense by Perry as she came right into her grill. Tried to pass it away, and Perry picked her pocket. Took it right out of her hands as she swung the ball around her head, trying to throw it away. 3:26 now. Effrington looking for space. Bounces it out to Chase as she was almost out of bounds there, but managed to stay in. Effrington now around the perimeter, gives it to Solbach. Solbach up top, 3:15. Now to Chase. To Hilbert, just right of center. She goes near side, Effrington. Algona continues to work the ball around the perimeter. They're looking for a 3. They're down by 6. Effrington steps inside the 3-point line, throws a long pass, and it's taken away by Reimer. Reimer with a layup on the left side. It's good. Kayla Reimer with a steal on the bucket in transition, and it's a 47-39 ball game. Now it's desperation time for Algona. They need buckets, and they need them quickly. 2:42 on the clock. And Reimer tips it again. Reimer steals it again. Reimer up the court. Layup is up. Layup is good. She's taking this game over. 49-39. A timeout is called by the Cadets, and we'll be back with the final 2:33 of this game coming up next right here on Hometown Radio. We resume action here in quarter number 4. Algona down by 10 to the Iowa Falls-Alden Cadets. The game looking desperate unless Algona can hack into the account that allows them to just shoot threes unlimitedly and hit them. There's a start. A swished three-pointer as Effrington hits. They're going to need a lot more of those to come back in this one as they're down by 7. They might need a steal and transition too. Shire up the court. Goes to Wilbholm, attacking in the lane, puts it off the glass, no good, tipped out of bounds. And the ball goes back to Algona. Boy, that one was almost tipped by Hilbert there, and she is smiling a sly smile at her own sideline. I think she knows that ball might have been off of her own hand, but Algona steals a possession here, so to speak. Corner to Hilbert, fought about through the 3, but pumped instead. Not a Perry on the block. Perry fights it up, and she got fouled on the arm. Now this is critical free throw time, and to make it a 2-possession game, Perry needs to make at least one of these 2 free throws. If she can make it both, all the better for Algona with only 1:49 left in the ball game. The Cadets looking to run to their 4th win in a row as Perry misses the first foul shot, and now this second one takes on ultimate importance. 7-point ball game, trying to become 6. Perry rolls off, no good, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds. Oh, what a break for Algona. Bridgewater and Wilbholm both went for the rebound at the same time, and they crossed each other up and knocked it out of bounds, so Algona gets to keep the basketball. Effrington looking. Effrington fires a bullet pass in bounds, and we're back underway. Hilbert to the right to Solbach. Into the corner, 3-pointer Effrington. She swishes it! Effrington hits back-to-back 3-pointers, and a timeout is called by Iowa Falls-Alden. 1:39 on the clock, and we'll keep it right here. All of a sudden, it is a 4-point game just like that. A minute ago, not even a minute ago in game time, and maybe not even a minute ago in real time, it was a 49-39 Cadet lead. The game looked essentially over, and Effrington hit a couple 3-pointers, and frankly, when it was a 7-point ball game and Perry missed both free throws, that could have ended the game right there if the Cadets were able to get the rebound. They could have run some clock, shot some free throws, and really forced Algona into an uncomfortable situation. But because that rebound was knocked out of bounds and Algona got to keep possession, Effrington capitalized and hit a 3-pointer. And just like that, maybe the outcome of this game isn't quite so certain. Algona now 8 of 20 on the 3-ball here tonight. That is a much better output than they've really produced at any point this season, and they may have unlocked something. Effrington, who has been a 24% free throw shooter, give or take, this season, has been automatic here in quarter number 4. She's hit 3 3-balls total tonight, 2 of them coming in the 4th quarter. The Cadets tonight have had some struggles from three-point land. They're 3 of 16, and Algona's edge in the 3-point shooting has allowed them to stay in this game. Now there will be a full-on, full-court press. Running and getting it in is Lancaster. And now the pass is taken away to Solbach on the block. Solbach off the glass. She puts it in. I don't believe what I'm watching right now. That's 8 points in about 20 seconds. It's a 2-point game, 47-49. Shire up the court. She missed the wide-open player. Layup is up. Counted on the foul. Shire had a pass that would have been wide open for a layup. She took it herself and she said, 3 points is better than 2. She'll head to the foul line here and try to accomplish the 3-point play and make it a 5-point game. What a crushing play there for Algona. 1:20 on the clock. Game not out of reach yet, though. Shire misses it. Perry rips down the long rebound. And with 1:17, Algona needs something on this possession. 1:13 into the front court. Etherington, almost ran into her own players. Perry and Hilbert collided. Now Hilbert up top to Solbach. Solbach goes to work. Solbach heads to the left to Etherington. Looked at the rim, backed off. Now Henry inching to her left, throws a dangerous pass that Hilbert rips down. Now near side Etherington. Looked for Perry inside, sent it to Hilbert. Now to Perry on the block. Perry goes to work, thought about shooting, almost traveled, passed it back out. 47 seconds to go. Solbach attacks the rim, floats a layup up, no good. Rebound is ripped. And they'll call a foul. They'll probably get a Layla Perry as Shire with the tough, hard-fought rebound. Perry got hit on the back of the head as she went to the ground. And it will be cadet basketball here. Boy, Algona made a great attempt at that one. They kept that possession going for about 30 seconds, just looking and searching and digging and trying to find a good shot, but even more credit goes to the cadet defense. Algona did not have a single good look that possession that they could take. 4-point game, pass is tipped, it's out of bounds, and it's back to Algona. The full court press works to perfection there, as one of the Algona players knocked it off the hand of Shire. Oh no, it'll save the Cadets here. Check that, sorry. Inbounds for the Cadets. Bridgewater up the court. She has it peeled away. It goes back to Algona. It's thrown away. It's on the near sideline. It's picked up by Henry. Henry makes a bad pass. It's off the hands of Etherington, and it's taken by the Cadets. Up the court, Wilbholm. Wilbholm to the basket. Scoop layup, and she gets crushed by Solbach, and she'll head to the line for a couple of foul shots. Man, what a transition sequence that was. Both teams had a couple opportunities to keep the basketball. Both teams turned it over a couple times in the same 10-foot square area of the court. They kept almost giving it back and forth between each other as if no one wanted that possession. And now with 24 seconds to go, free throws can end this game. Wilbholm misses on the first one, though. She has 16 tonight. 4-point game. She can make it 5. Foul shot on the way. Swishes that one. 17 for Wilbholm. Will we have another timeout here? I think they're trying to decide if it'll be a 30-second or a 60-second timeout. It'll be a 60-second timeout, so we'll take one as well. 24 seconds left in the game. Don't miss an intense final few seconds coming up next on Hometown Radio. .20 seconds to go. Algona basketball. They are down by 5. Etherington spinning and kicking it out to Solbach. Solbach left of the lane. Scoop layup. She missed it. Rebound Shire. Shire gets fouled. And that will just about do it. 10 seconds to go. And the Cadets are heading to the free-throw line to try to ice this game. Algona gave the Cadets all they could deal with tonight. Just like they did last time these two teams matched up. But in the end, it's going to come up just short. Shire, who has 16 points already, she will head to the line for a couple free throws. Cadets have all 4 other players dropped back as the first foul shot is up and it is good. Cadets don't want to allow any quick baskets in transition. Time is certainly on their side. It's a 6-point game. That foul shot is missed. Algona's got to hurry. Hilbert up the court on the near side. 7 seconds. Gets it to Effrington. Effrington dribbles. 3 seconds to go. Kicks it to Solbach. She'll fire a 3 at the buzzer, and she'll swish it. But the buzzer will sound, and the game will end. What a heartbreaker for Algona. 53 to 50. Boy, Algona made an unbelievable effort here tonight, but in the end, that is going to come up just short. And you know, you've got to salute them on a game like this. They had a rough go of it on offense last night, but tonight they really battled it out against a very high-quality Iowa Falls-Alden team. And although Algona will certainly be disappointed in the effort here tonight, I think there's a lot that they can build on going forward here. Whenever you can keep it as close as they kept it against such a high-quality opponent. And on the cadet side of things, hey, you took care of business. That's win number 4 in a row, and they are now 11-4. They go to 6-3 in the conference, and sometimes, as a good team, you're going to have to play close games against teams that don't have as many wins as you. And it's as simple as that, and you can say, you know, you looked at the game on paper and thought that this would be a lopsided game, and it turns out it's a tightly contested, up-in-the-air game in the fourth quarter. But the mark of a good team is the ability to beat any team in a close game in the fourth quarter, and that's what Iowa Falls-Alden did here tonight. They knew how to finish. It wasn't pretty. They got some clutch baskets when it counted the most. They converted their foul shots down the stretch, and frankly, they forced Algona into a lot of sloppy turnovers here tonight. But on the bright side of things, if you're Algona, plenty to build on. And by plenty, I especially mean the three-point shooting that we saw from Algona here tonight. They were 9 of 21 from range, and I'll tell you what, that is one of the best outputs we've seen from the Bulldogs here this season. And the long-range shooters really getting into the act were Maddie Hilbert. She had 3 three-pointers. Lillian Effrington hit 3. Tora Solbach had a key three-pointer late in the ball game, and it was really a good offensive effort for Algona. You know, on the defensive end, little something to be desired, giving up 53 points, especially when they've generally been keeping opponents in the 40-point range, somewhere in there, as they've given up about 48 points per game this season. But again, nothing to hang your head about if you're an Algona fan or a player, with a close 3-point loss to a good Iowa Falls-Alden team that is near the top of the conference. But the Cadets pick up win number 4 in a row. Algona continues to slide as they go to 2-11, but certainly some positive signs here tonight for the Bulldogs. Looking at some of the final scoring numbers here tonight, looking at the Algona things, Tora Solbach, she had 17 points to lead the way for the Bulldogs. Maddie Hilbert chipped in with 9, all of them coming on threes, and Lillian Effrington had 13 in this one. On the Iowa Falls-Alden side of things, well, we talked about how their starting lineup is just really tremendous when it comes to being able to score a lot and carry the whole load, and that is frankly what they did here tonight. There were no bench points scored tonight at any point by the Cadets, but it didn't matter because they have just such a tremendous starting lineup. Shire had 17 points, Wilbholm had 17, Bridgewater had 10, and Reimer had 9. And that's all they needed. 53 points is about the minimum it would have taken to win here tonight. That's what they got to, and that is what you call taking care of business. So a great win for Iowa Falls-Alden. They improved to 11-4 on the season. For Algona, they will drop to 2-11. And coming up next, when you look at the next matchups for these couple of teams, for Iowa Falls-Alden, they play St. Edmund, who is 2-10 on the season, and Iowa Falls-Alden beat them 52-27 earlier this year. Algona plays again January 26th. They travel to Humboldt, who is a very strong 11-3 squad. But Algona was hoping to put a competitive game together, much like they did tonight, and do it on the road against Humboldt. Algona also played Humboldt earlier in the year, and they lost that one 47-36. But again, it's really all about competitiveness and development if you're the Algona team. And you can certainly say a lot of development happened here tonight. I think we'll leave it there, though. We'll get the boys' game going in about 15 minutes, so make sure you stick around right here on Hometown Radio. We will have an exciting matchup between the Cadets and the Bulldogs on the boys' side of things, and that's coming your way next.